Do it yourself. If no label is going to put out a record for you, put out your own record. If no magazine is going to cover the bands you want to read about, start your own magazine. And to me, DIY never meant do it alone. It always meant do it together. That every part of the scene is equally as important. The band on stage, the audience, the labels putting out the records, and also the writers and journalists documenting the scene around the music. All parts equal. It has to all be there for everything to happen. To me, that also automatically further translated into social inclusion too, that everyone is welcome and free to be themselves, feels like they belong, regardless of age, race, sexuality, or gender identity. Is fuck racism, fuck homophobia, fuck sexism, fuck transphobia. Like a great big island of misfit toys. All I have ever wanted is to be a part of a scene like that. So thank you all for helping me make me feel like that vision is actually a possibility in this world. Thank you.
If Laura Jane Grace ain't the coolest motherfucker in the world, I don't know who is. Eagle and Vice, episode 112.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Raid. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago, hell, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and Rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk.
Today on the podcast, I have a local band called Neon Ghosthouse. They came into Southwood Studio. It has been a good couple of weeks for Ego and Vice because the studio is open. Long gone are the Zoom calls. Well, it's there just in case. But we don't want to go back to the Zoom calls. We want conversations with people and good energy, good vibes. And that's what I did with Neon Ghosthouse. Had a good conversation with them, and they are an awesome, awesome local band that really have a lot of buzz around them right now, and they're up and coming because they're great. They're awesome. Their music's awesome, and they're good dudes. So I'm going to play a song from Neon Ghosthouse, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to have a conversation with the guys. So this is Neon Ghosthouse. This is a song called 3 a.m. This is Ego and Vice, episode 112.
Fought with fireworks in the night, just doing what was feeling right. We stayed up till 3 a.m., overlooking the world from thrones of sand. We got blackout drunk and gave each other tattoos, but I never thought that it would lose you. We
Hey, welcome back. This is Ego and Vice episode 112, I think. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty good. As I promised in the intro, I do have a band in Southwood studio today, and they are called Neon Ghosthouse. How's it going, guys?
Not
Feeling
bad.
Fantastic. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
No problem, no problem. I think the best thing to do was maybe just go around and just introduce yourself, what you play, and maybe give us a quick... What's your earliest memory of music in your life?
So I'm Stu. I play drums. My earliest memory of music, well, my dad was a musician, so probably him opening up the door of what used to be Zaphod's, which is now 27 Club, and him pointing at the stage, showing me where he was going to play that night.
Cool, that's a cool one.
My name's Scott. I'm the singer. I think my earliest memory with music would be going on drives to visit family in Sudbury, and my dad would always play Crime of the Century by Supertramp on the CD or Closing Time by Tom Waits.
Okay, all right.
And my name is Zach. I'm the lead guitarist. God, I think, probably. I've seen a theme here. It's all related to our dads. My dad used to play. He would just take us for drives, me and my brother, just for nothing, just to listen to like CDs. And he used to play the, I can't remember what the album's called, but the Iron Maiden album that has like Wasted Years and like Aces High and stuff on it, and that Avenged Sevenfold record, the self-titled one.
I think all Iron Maiden's fans or songs, albums, I think they all have those songs on them because they all kind of sound like that, like with the
That's true.
I could hit those notes when I was 6, not so much now.
Oh no, oh that's okay. I too, if we're going down that theme, I too have a dad thing. I have two things. My dad was not a musician. I had uncles that were musicians, and I guess that's where I got it from somewhere. Well, if you want to call me a musician, I'll call myself a loose musician. I play some music here and there, right? Yeah. Do you ever find it weird calling yourselves musicians? Like, I'm a musician.
Yes.
Doesn't that feel odd?
Yeah. My mom, she introduces me to her friends as like, oh, my son's a musician, but like, I don't know. I feel like I have to be making like enough money to live off of to be a musician. But it doesn't
Totally,
really
right? And it's always like if someone asks you what you do, you tell them, I work at Burger King.
Yeah.
You don't say, I'm a musician and I work at Burger King. Through my whole life, I've never introduced myself as a musician. Even when I was like a working musician, I've never done it. I don't know why.
I feel like I've heard a thing where it's like, if it's something that you do every day, then you can like call yourself that. It's like, even if you just like play guitar for your room.
I'm a chronic masturbator.
Yeah. It's the official job title.
Yeah.
And a musician.
That goes hand in hand.
There you go.
Same thing.
So yeah, the dad thing was my dad would always sing like Christmas carols and stuff, but he'd be the first one to have a few beers at like the family get-togethers, and he'd always call it a sing-song. Okay, everybody, let's get together. We're gonna have a little sing-song. And he would just start singing, and yeah, I guess he got that from my grandpa too. And the other music thing I remember when I was a kid, and I've told this story on the podcast before, was family vacations when you jump in the car and the kids always sat in the back seat, and my dad had like an Eagles. It was like stuck in the thing, and it was like the greatest hits of the Eagles, and it just played and played and played, and I can't listen to the Eagles to this day.
Makes sense.
Right. So, all right. How did you guys you have history in music? You can remember back when you were younger and music was there. When did you start realizing that you guys wanted to actually do it? Was it an accident? Did you say, I'm going to do this. This is going to be my goal? Or
Yeah. For me, it was pretty much an accident. Like, I remember when I was, I think about like 6, my dad, like got me a drum set. And I played for a couple years when I was younger, but I never really like imagined being like, it was just kind of like for fun. It was more like I would come home after like a bad day and like, when you walk in as a kid and you're like, I never want to go to school again, and like throw your bag on the floor, and I just come in and take it out on the drums. It was more just like an outlet, being a little angry little toddler.
Nice.
And then we moved, and I hadn't like been playing for a little while, and I went back to them, I think when I was about like maybe like 10 or so, and I couldn't find them, and my dad had sold my drums.
Oh,
I had two sets, and he sold them both without saying anything. I was like, oh man, yeah, I'm still pissed about that, but whatever.
man, you guys are bringing back like dad trauma. I got a story too, but I'll let you guys go. What about Scott?
Yeah, I mean, I always like loved music and played a little guitar when I was younger, but the only reason I got into playing music live was my brother is 2 years older. So when I got to high school, he was grade 11, and I joined the school band and I played bass. And two of his buddies that I grew up with and knew my whole life, I knew they played music, but I didn't really have any concept of what that meant. And did the first band practice, and then the two of them kind of came over and were like, "Hey, you play bass?" And I was like, "Not really, but I'm starting to." And he's like, "Cool, you're in the band." And yeah, and then they started just coming over to my house every Sunday and teaching me how to play Descendants songs and Rancid, and
There you go.
now we're here.
There you go.
Mine was also like my dad. He always wanted me to play music, and originally guitar because he's a guitarist. But I thought it would be lame to play the same instrument as my dad.
Right.
So then once
you could kind of start a band, but not really.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, almost there.
Yeah.
But whenever I got to high school, it wasn't until like I was around 14. I tried guitar and I sucked at it. I tried bass, also sucked at it. But I always found drums really interesting. I also have an aunt that's a drummer, so she was pretty integral on that for sure.
Cool. Drummers are a hot commodity in this town.
Yeah.
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 If you're a drummer, I actually met a drummer recently.
Dude, me too.
I'm not gonna tell you his name, but he was like a technically he's a free agent, and he's like a fucking really good drummer. I listened to some of the stuff he was on, and I said, "What are you doing for the rest? For the next 10
Yeah.
years?" And he didn't get back to me.
Is it
Motherfucker.
James Reed?
No,
Okay.
no, it's not. I'll tell you off mic later.
Yeah, okay.
Because I don't know if he wants to be known by
fair
that.
enough.
All right, so once you started getting together in bands and stuff, was obviously Neon Ghosthouse wasn't your first band. No. How did it go? What was the evolution of your the Ottawa music scene? I don't know anybody.
Yeah, so like that first band I joined, we were a shitty little punk band called Murder State. I actually joined it with so the other guys was Lucas Beneteau and Brian Thomas, who both of them are in Montreal doing amazing music. So
You have a Montreal twang to your voice. I can hear
I
it.
do.
You
Oh,
do.
they rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
Well, Brian's in Family Man, an amazing band, and Lucas is in Dirty Milk, another amazing band, and I think Brian's in Dirty Milk as well. But the reason I joined was because their old bassist was Colin Haynes, and he needed to leave to focus on his new project, which was Bearings, and that went quite well. So we did that for a long time through high school until they moved out, and then it was kind of join this one band for a year and a bit and sound like Billy Talent, join another one, sound like Alexis on Fire, and nothing ever really stuck with that until I stopped doing music live for like 4 years.
What's the timeline of that? Like, when did you stop?
That would have been 2017 or 18 I was out. So maybe not even that long, because then I first met up with Zach here and our first bassist in 2020.
Yeah, like a week before the first pandemic wave of COVID
It
came
went like,
through.
let's make this a thing, and then the world
and
said
then we didn't
no.
see each other for like a year.
Oh, so you guys started kind of just getting together before the thing we try not to talk about
Like
too
literally
much.
a week or two before.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, but
Yeah.
that's good.
Give us time to write.
Well, it's also commendable that we're still wanting to do it 3 years later or whatever it was, 2 years later.
Yeah.
It gave us the chance to practice through it all.
Yeah.
Totally.
So when things opened, we were just ready to go.
Fair.
Yeah, because I think too, like when we first like got together that one time, like I didn't even know that there was like this whole scene in Ottawa. I was so new. Like being in Neon Ghosthouse has like been my introduction to like the Ottawa music scene, and I'm really happy that I'm a part of it now because we've met a lot of cool people, we've made a ton of friends through this, and I'm glad that we ended up sticking with that, whatever reason we did.
Meanwhile, I'm coming up on 10 years.
Oh yeah,
Wow, yeah.
you
2014.
you old bastard.
Yeah, I was 14.
Sorry.
My first band was in Shovel, Quebec, which is a good piece away from here. But it was in high school. I pretty much learned how to play music, joining a band right off the bat. And with three great buddies of mine, shout out to Jared Lance and Clay and Murray.
There they are.
But we just kind of, all of us were kind of learning our instruments, so we started off just playing like Blues Breakers covers and stuff like that, just some blues stuff, and then it was time to play shows, so then we came down to Ottawa post-COVID, and I met these guys.
Poco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
That's awesome, man. The Ottawa music scene, I think COVID like rejuvenated it, if
Big
you
time.
would say. Like, I've been in the Ottawa. You guys are talking about you feel old. I've been in. I started the very first band I was in Ottawa was in 1999. So
It's the year I was born.
there you go. Yeah,
To make you feel a little older, sorry.
yeah. Well, you know. Anyway, but yeah, it kind of stayed the way it was for a while. Like it's always been an amazing place, and it's always been like an amazing scene with amazing like musicians and bands. But after COVID, it's just kind of exploding, and just even finding it. Like I can't see as many shows as I can, but just finding stuff online. The internet helps too to discover stuff, right? Yeah. And so it's awesome, yeah, man. And that's why I do the podcast, just because there's so much talent out there.
Yeah.
And the Ottawa music scene is thriving right now. So okay, pandemic's over. You guys are back on track. Songs start getting, well, I guess they were written. Get in a room. You say, let's make this happen. Neon Ghosthouse.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened then?
I guess it was get out of the garage and go to Jam Barn. So start getting like places to practice at the PA, making it a little more real.
Yeah,
Like-
because we started like when COVID kind of started like coming to an end a little bit. I was living at my buddy's place, and our bass player was like living down the street from me. He had just moved in with his girlfriend, so I went over there, and that we basically spent like the entire winter like just kind of jamming in their garage and like writing a bunch of stuff in there. And then like eventually we kind of started looking for other members and went out, and we found that jam space, Jam Barn, and basically just like spent like all of our time there. Just kind of writing stuff. We got Jack in there, and he was a fantastic addition. I love that guy.
Jack is not here today.
He's
No.
not.
He is the
No.
rhythm guitar player.
He
Yes.
Look at me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's my research, eh?
is. Yeah. And then I think shortly after that we got Logan, because I remember doing a few practices without drums.
Yeah.
And then we had Logan come in, because I think you knew him.
Yeah, I've been friends with Logan for a couple years before COVID, and he kind of texted me, like, he messaged us as a joke one day. He's like, "Oh, if you guys are looking for a drummer, I'll play," because he normally he plays bass. And we were just kind of like, "Oh yeah, sure, bud," but we needed a drummer, so we brought him into jam, and he actually killed it and was our drummer for the better part of a year.
At least, yeah.
Yeah, and then he moved to bass when we got Stu.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
As far as recording, you already said that Cameron Dunn
Yes.
of Hillside, and you have released some stuff, mainly singles. But this year you released a EP called Mercy Rule.
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
First real project.
Yeah.
You have more songs than 6 songs, though, right?
That we're playing live right now. Not
No,
really.
We pretty much only live. We only do the 6 songs that we have out, and then covers. But we're working. We have a few more.
When
in the works.
when was your first show as Neon Ghosthouse?
The Mavericks one, eh?
No, the first technical show I guess we technically did was a Brass Monkey showcase to I think 3 people, and on a Tuesday night, and I think that was the first one in November of 2021.
Yeah.
It was still full masks, checking your stuff at the door to make sure you can come in.
Yeah.
And then it was nothing until the following year at Day Cuff.
Yeah, because
Wow.
we were playing without Jack for a little bit, and Scott was playing guitar
Yes.
and singing.
At the beginning, we were a 4-piece, and I
Yeah.
was playing rhythm and singing, and it did not go so well.
That's See, I couldn't find too much about the backstory. That's why it's nice having a conversation about it. But
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised that you guys haven't actually been playing as longer than I thought you were. I thought you guys had been together for quite some time.
Well, our first real show with the proper we had Logan, we had Jack, the real lineup that was on our first few recordings was only, I think we literally just passed 2 years, if that even.
Wow.
It was
Yeah, no, it was it was in the winter time of 2021. I think
March.
was yeah.
no, that would have yes,
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Sure.
I haven't seen a live show,
find
but just the songwriting alone is impressive. For a
thank
band
you.
that hasn't been together that
Thank you.
long. The first song that I heard was Expectations. I guess
Yeah.
that's the the big one?
Yeah,
that's
kind of.
the show closer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but well deserved because it's an awesome song. Like
Thank
it's
you.
written really well. And the more I listened to the rest of the stuff, I thought you guys had been around for like 10 years. That's fucking really impressive, man.
Thank you.
bro. I
Who
appreciate that.
does most of the writing? Like, how do you guys do it? You
It's pretty eclectic.
It is pretty cool. Like Expectations was Scott's baby.
Yeah,
Um,
that was my child from high school that I stewed on with like no band that I felt comfortable kind of being like, here's my thing until this one. But I've been sitting on that for years.
I thought it was funny though because the first time that we got together, like the week before the pandemic, we did jam it. But he was playing guitar and I like jammed it with a harmonica.
Yeah, it was piano,
like
guitar,
that.
and harmonica and no vocals.
Yeah, and
that was the
first-
first time.
At first we were like, oh, that could be like a cool like Neil Young sounding song, and then now it's like not.
You guys gotta do it that way and release it as like a
Little
hidden
acoustic
track
version.
or something. You know? you gotta answer a skill testing question to listen to this.
No kidding.
That's cool. No, it's great, man. And I think everyone has one of those songs that kicks around forever. If you're a songwriter, stuff that you don't know what to do with, maybe you played it acoustically or something. And then to bring it to a band, but it really worked out well. On that note, let's listen to Expectations.
Let's do that.
Okay. All right. This is Neon Ghosthouse. This is a song called Expectations. Ego and Vice.
Hey, little monsters, we're back on Ego and Vice.
So, what do you guys got going on lately?
Right now we're like 3 days away from a show this Saturday, the 30th. It's a big bill. I think it's like a 5-band bill. We're with Sophiacide. We are with Dim, a punk band from Toronto. There's is it Candy Boys and Dove Aura.
Yeah.
What venue?
That'll be De Cuff.
Yeah, Cafe de Cuff.
Cafe de Cuff.
Good old Cuff.
I love De Cuff.
Absolutely.
Cool, man. That bar's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
The previous owner is probably in like the early 2000s, like 2003, 4.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play in a band called Our Mistake, and the guitar player in my band was the sound guy / manager of De Cuff when it first opened.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And Mavericks below it used to be a pub called the Crimson Clover.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that name.
Yeah, and Cafe de Cuff was our jam spot.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah. On the weekday, we couldn't jam on the weekends because of shows and shit. But on the weekdays, we'd have like a Tuesday jam night, and we'd jam at Cafe de Cuff.
And
it's very different now than it was.
I was
then.
gonna say that's back with the old little corner stage, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was corner
Yeah.
stage. Yeah, and then it kind of really got. I don't know, but it kind of got like, I won't say abused, but it kind of got like forgotten for a while. Like it was still there, but I remember going into the bath. Like when I was jamming there, when the Crimson Clover, you used to be able to order food, and there was like booths and stuff, and I remember I played there with my band Goat like much later in the teens, and I'd go in the bathroom and there wasn't even any like water pipes to the urinals. It was just the urinal with a hole.
It's for display. Yeah.
Yeah, but I heard it got like a reno.
Super nice now.
Is
Yeah.
it? I haven't
Yeah.
been there since.
Stage
so.
is easily twice as big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Does the owner of De Cuff still are the Mavericks and because the building
They're
used to
split
be
now.
joined? It's two
Yeah,
different.
it's split, for sure.
Okay, so there's a new owner of De Cuff as well, eh?
Yeah, he's probably been there for a while now, but definitely from back then, it's different for sure.
Okay, and here's another. I don't mean to go on about this, but
That's fine.
I've just been around forever. Cafe de Cuff was actually named after my guitar player. He wrote a song called Cafe de Cuff because it's fucked backwards.
Yeah.
right? And it's about him in like Amsterdam or something. I don't know where. It's just getting high off his ass, and he said we're sitting at Cafe Fucked or Cafe de Cuff, and then they.
That's awesome.
The old owner Chris they were kind of in cahoots. That's where it came from.
Well, here, I'll give
That's
you
awesome.
another bit of De Cuff lore for us, at least. The way that we met Cam from Hillside was he did sound at, I think, our first De Cuff show.
Oh,
And
yeah?
I still have the little tape strip he does for the soundboard. I still have that on the back of my amp of that show because it was like how we met him. So we keep that with us.
Yeah, you got to get that tattooed up your arm.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, I'm going to do it as like a really wide tramp stamp.
I thought it.
3 Vox.
Yeah, that's literally what. That's awesome.
I thought it was funny too because when Cam approached us, he was like, "Oh man, that one song that you guys have, I would love to record that. What's it called?" He's like, "Yeah, it's not even ours.
yeah,
it's a
that
cover."
was a cover.
We were like, "What'd you think of the other ones?" He's like, "Oh, but yeah, they were good, man. That one song though."
What was it? What was the cover?
Was it Ween?
Yeah, it was "It's Gonna Be a Long Night" by Ween.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just get the rights and record it yourself. What the
Yeah,
hell?
they'd be
You
fine
can
with
do
it.
That's cool. So, are there plans for a? Okay. I find that different bands, different artists, I'm currently working on a record. I have been for about 2 years. I didn't mean for this to happen, but now there's 19 songs, and I'm going to release it as a 19-song punk record.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Some people release singles,
Yeah.
and they find that's the more effective way to do it. But I'm not trying to win any big fans. I know my place in the world at this stage of my life. How do you guys feel about full records compared to releasing singles?
I think they just have their place. Like, you got to know when to do each one. Because, like, you'll see people that have 10 singles and no actual projects. And, I mean, it's a bunch of good music, but it doesn't feel like there's any, like, thing to latch onto. So, I know for us, like, our first 2, it was singles because that's all we really had that we wanted to put out.
Yeah, and
And
we were
then-
still like testing the waters to
Yeah,
see
big
like
time.
if people were actually gonna like dig it.
I think the only reason we ended up, like, we recorded Bad Habits off the EP as a single, which is why it has, like, fully different artwork. Because I'm pretty sure when we at least when we went in to record that, I don't even think the EP was an idea yet.
No.
It felt too far away, and then we just kind of looked at the stuff and we're like, we have other songs. We had 2 other songs that fit really well, but we actually wrote the third one like not that long before going into the studio. It just kind of all came together.
Yeah.
And then we're like, well, we have the stuff, we can do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. And we really only like we threw Bad Habits in the EP because like people were already like enjoying it, so we figured if we throw in a song that's like familiar that people already like, they'll like stick around longer for like the rest of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And then I think for like records, as far as like a full length, at least personally, I feel like it's worth doing it the way we're doing it, and then probably even another, I would guess at least one more EP before any like 7 or 8 song collection.
Yeah.
For one, because it's like, I don't know, you need to, I feel like the record should have a really cohesive feel to it and like well thought out, and I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, I don't want to put anything out that's gonna be like kind of half-assed. Like I want, like, if we're gonna make an album, I want the first one to be like as good as it can possibly.
I feel like we haven't
fucking
written
be.
enough songs to like have
No.
earned putting out an album yet.
And we're still like trying to like nail down like a proper like sound, I guess, where it's like when we start coming in with songs, because all 5 of us have like completely different like influences, so like
It's working though.
and so like someone will come in with a song and we'll just be like, that is not Neon Ghosthouse, bro.
Yeah,
That is
like it's a good song, but
yeah.
it's someone else's song.
Yeah, and so we're pretty right now. We're just kind of basing everything off of expectations and like Bad Habits, and seeing if we can make more stuff that sounds like
we
that.
kind of have a general vibe that we're going
getting
for.
there. We're getting there.
It's getting more and more narrow to what we want. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna have something to add.
Sorry.
No? You're just, okay. Yeah, I just like I guess we can like I'm older than you guys, but I still consider you guys peers because we're still active in the thing, but we're different generations, I think. And I guess I'm curious always of like I remember albums, like full albums. You go to you get the CD and you open it up and you smell it, you know, like, and you read the lyrics and the liner notes as you're listening to it. And then I was like a holdout. I was like, I don't want to do stuff because I remember you used to have to buy songs on like iTunes and all that stuff. So then I got Spotify and I never looked back, and I hate physical copies of anything, but I still like the concept of a full album.
Big time.
Because it's kind of, that's how you're, like you were talking about, you're not just going to release just a batch of songs, but you're also not going to release like a concept record. This song is about the time I found a doggy and went to the moon, and you know. It's just, but you want it all to be kind of, oh, that's off of that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what that is. Shit like that. So.
Well, it's like,
But attention spans are so short nowadays. Even mine's bad, where it's just like you listen to a half a song. Next. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's what the like narrative is, that it's like, oh, people just don't care, they're not going to sit down and listen to an album. But I think they will if you like give them a reason to, because I think there's a difference between like an album and then just 8 songs you happen to put together.
That's fair.
And I think you can tell the difference like pretty easy. Like you can tell when it's like, that's a good album, like all those songs make sense, like the order they're in is perfect, like if you change it around it wouldn't be as good, and then you hear it's an album.
Yeah, it's just like a batch of songs.
Yeah, there's a difference.
No, that's good. I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that comment for sure. And it's maybe me selling people short, just saying, oh, no one's going to listen to this, but maybe people will. You know what I mean? There are music lovers out there, and if they like your band or they like the music they hear, they search it out and they listen to as much as they can. Everyone has their favorite band that, you know, they listen to as a comfort. They go back to it and they listen to the same
absolutely.
album. But I've heard Bad Religion, No Control. I've listened to that album 8 million times. I counted 8 million times I listened to it.
You also pick your favorites too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird to think though, like in that somewhere, you never know. Maybe not now, or maybe at some point. It's weird to think that you, like as in ourselves, are someone's favorite music. Isn't that so? Isn't that a weird thing to like
It is
wrap
weird.
your brain around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still haven't really like. I don't know. I don't know how to react.
I would
to
never
it.
say that is true of us yet. Like I wouldn't feel comfortable being like, we're someone's favorite.
I know.
No, but I did have one kid come up to me. I was watching my friends play a show at Avant-Garde, and I was outside, and they were like, "Yeah, I told you about this." And I was talking to this other kid, and he was like, "Oh, like, do you play any music?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm in a band." He's like, "What's your band called?" I was like, "Neon Ghosthouse," and he was like, "What the fuck? Can I swear? Is that?"
Yeah.
Okay. He's like, "What the fuck?
We're all
no way."
all adults here.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? No way! Oh my god! And he went on for like 5-10 minutes, just like talking about it, and I was like, oh, dude, that's like.
It's
so crazy.
weird.
I didn't know. I was like standing there. I was like, "Oh, thanks,
man.
Thank you." Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
there's
I don't know.
a few and far between where like people will come up and talk about goat, and it's just I feel like, oh, you're just being nice, you know? You're just
Yeah.
being
It does,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. But
It's cool though. It is cool.
Very cool.
yeah, are you gonna stick with Cam?
I don't know. Well, we're kind of thinking of trying, like, just record the next one ourselves, just to
Yeah.
see if we
Yeah.
can.
That's the beauty of it, right? You can nowadays.
Yeah.
It's so easy. I find there's a ton of local studios
Yeah.
which you should support for sure.
Absolutely.
And all the power to them. But if you have the means to do it yourself, why
Yeah.
not?
Like, Cam's amazing,
Yeah.
but the man needs to make a living.
Of
And
course.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
and sometimes that
we-
gets hard to
We
afford.
saved up for a little while
Yeah, of
before we went
course.
and recorded with him last time, and right now
But,
I am not in a place to contribute.
Yeah.
But you know what? We paid for quality, and we,
We
got
did.
it.
We
for
paid
sure.
for
Oh,
quality.
100%. Do you
Cam's
guys know
awesome.
Do you guys know the Fly Downs?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we didn't. No. Okay. Yes, we know them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good friends with Jesse from the Fly Downs. I've known him forever,
Mhm.
and they recorded their new record at Cam's as
Nice.
well. And yeah, man, it sounds awesome. The guy's like he can record. Well, I guess you guys aren't really punk, but he sure
No.
can record a punk record, and that's
Oh,
what,
yeah,
that's
he
what I
can.
heard from from most of the stuff I've heard from him. So
I think his home is like in heavier music, so it makes sense.
yeah, I think that's his style of playing too, because he was
Definitely.
actually gonna try out for Goat one time, but then he ended up going with a different band. Anyway,
Mm.
lost my train of thought. Oh yes, and on that whole thing, I know what you mean. It's super expensive to make a record.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's all time. It's all
Yeah.
time. It's the producer's time, and it's your time, and it's scheduling. I'm doing this whole one, the 19 one. Like I said, I've been doing it over months and months and months. I'm paying
Yeah.
for. I don't have a band anymore. Like the bass player and the drummer, during the pandemic, just like literally vanished into thin air.
Yeah.
And I've just been playing. I just did it all myself.
Yeah.
And I paying for it all myself too.
That's fair.
It's Dave Grohl style.
Jeez, Well, I sat at home by myself and wrote all these songs.
There you go.
So I might as well just finish it and play them all.
Yeah.
Someday I might actually get players.
I was gonna say, yeah, find a live band after.
Well, Shane from the Fly Downs actually played drums on half the record so far. We're going back up in November, and my friend Jay Watts. Do you guys know the band The Escape Society? No,
Don't
you
think
might-
so.
You will at some point. They're pretty up and coming. They're doing
Okay.
really, really well. They don't have the buzz you guys got. You guys
Uh-huh.
actually have a buzz. Do you feel that in town?
I can't tell, man.
It depends.
I don't
like,
know.
On the day of a show, maybe it's like, oh, it's exciting or something. But like day to day, I don't think so.
We
At least
do
I
have
don't.
we do have like a few regulars that are always at our shows that we
Yeah.
talk to. But for the most part, I kind of always just feel the sense of like, everybody else in the scene is out to support, and I do believe that they
Yeah.
like the music. Like, I don't think they're gonna bullshit us, but like, yeah,
No.
I can't really tell if it's like buzz or if it's just like the homies. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, which I think is a good thing, because there's just everyone is so nice now, and like everyone comes out to support everyone.
Yeah.
That like, I don't know if it's just everyone's just that nice, and it's just all the homies coming out to party, or if it's because of the music or what. But either way,
Yeah.
it's awesome.
It's always a good time, and
Yeah.
everybody's amazing. It's just great people.
It's good to see some new faces too.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing was whenever we played Club Saw,
Yeah.
and seeing people with our shirts, and then
Oh God, yes, so
yeah,
many. I was
that's-
actually kind of shocked
yeah,
about
that was a
Yeah.
really cool thing. Is just seeing them with different shirts, like all,
Yeah.
and then not knowing some of those people that were buying shirts. That was
Yeah.
that was a nice feeling.
That'll be the big one. Is if I'm out downtown or something, or if I'm in another city and I see one
Oh,
of the
that'd be
shirts,
nuts.
it's done.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna lose my mind.
Yeah, man. Well, that again, and little stuff like that. That's buzz, right? So
Yeah.
it's very, very cool, and I think you get out of it what you put into it, and
Totally.
if you work hard, you'll see results. And that's the thing about music, though, man. It takes forever, right? And
Yep.
and there's so much out there. There's so much other music out there, and especially in like a bustling music scene like Ottawa, there's so many
Yeah.
bands and so many artists. But if you can kind of crack it and make a dent in it, It's huge, and you guys have the material because your songs are fucking good, right?
Thank you.
I've never seen you play live. You might be terrible. I don't know. But
hope
Cam
not.
sure made you sound good. No, I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm sure you're awesome. Actually, I did catch a YouTube. I was watching some of your stuff, and
Oh, awesome.
yeah, man. So since you've been back, and since you've been playing, well, back from the pandemic, and since you've been playing a lot, I guess you've been playing with a lot of other local bands. You guys,
Yeah.
You said the scene, you're seeing it now, and you're meeting a lot of cool people. Do you guys
Yeah.
want to give some nods to some of the bands you've played with, some of the people you've met?
Definitely.
Yeah, the first band that I was ever shown, like aside from, I have a cousin who's in the scene. He's in Benzine, and his new band is called Fifth, who are amazing.
I just played with Fifth.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I did an acoustic show at the Womb. Do you know what the Womb is?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's
Oh,
awesome.
I missed that. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're so sick. But the first one was just after Jack joined the band. A band called The New Hires.
Right.
We're just starting
Oh,
up.
yeah.
Mhm.
And Jack showed me one of their songs. It's called "Save First and Foremost," and I was like, "Oh, so good!" Like they kind of sound like the Killers, but like a little bit. I feel like Max is gonna hate me for saying that, but I always compare them to the Killers. But they're so good, and
They're
he's such a
awesome.
good front man, Max.
Yeah, he is.
He's amazing. He grabs the crowd by the nuts and just runs with it.
If I may, that's another thing. I've heard that band come up a lot. New
Yeah.
Hires. That's the same way I heard your band name. It just keeps coming up.
They're
over the
That's
course
awesome.
of-
Sweet.
So that's good. Anyway,
Yeah. You got
Yeah.
any others you want to do?
Yeah. Also, shout out Teenage Fiction. I love Teenage
Yep.
Fiction.
Oh,
Sandy
yeah.
is the nicest dude in the scene, and he has some of the coolest music ever.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's amazing. Cool, like post-punk stuff, and his vocal harmonies that he does with his guitar player are always like the tightest thing. Like, as my ears
Oh, yeah.
vibrating, it's like my favorite thing. I love going to watch their shows. They're so dope.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Scott? What about you? You got any favorites?
You got one?
I have too many. I have a playlist on
They're all so
Spotify
good.
that I just always add. Like, it's all like my like favorite local bands, but I'm not gonna go through that whole thing. But I mean, like some of my favorites right now. Some of my favorites have like no music out or even like one song out. But one that has a lot of music out that they're all amazing is Guest Room Status.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
Like that band will in no time be playing all over the world. They're incredible. They're like the new like modern baseball. Like,
Yeah.
unbelievably good. Absolutely, I love Out by Lucy.
I was just about
Yeah,
to.
they
I was
only
gonna
have
say
one song
that's.
out,
I
though.
love
They
it.
only have one song out, and it's unbelievably good. But when you go see them live, it's a pretty good
It's-
testament that everyone knows every word to damn near every song.
We need
Yeah.
more music by them.
yeah, we
Like,
do. Well, I think we're getting some soon.
Yeah, I know.
I love Root Cause. I've
Oh
been
my
seeing them live a bunch lately. They're fairly new. They don't have anything out yet. I think they're recording with Sandy.
Yeah, they're recording with Sandy from Teenage
Yeah.
Fiction. But one thing I will say about Root Cause, it was the craziest thing. Their first show that they ever played, they were like in the middle at Avant-Garde, and they were the only band the whole night where they were asked for an encore.
That's
And I
not
was like,
nuts.
I've never seen like
That's
an
not
opening
surprising.
band in Ottawa at least
Yeah.
get asked for an encore, and they were like, oh, we don't have anything, so they just played another song that they played earlier in the night, and everybody went nuts for it.
that's awesome. That's all you do.
They're
That's
so
humbling.
good.
It's nice. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just- that's another one of those things. It's like, really, you really want to hear another one?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Anyway.
There's too many others. Like I could literally give you too many. Here you go.
Yeah, give Stu.
Well, Zach, you had said them earlier, but Fifth, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
and also Benzine, like that music makes me want to like, I don't know, like kick a hole in my wall while drinking a beer or something.
Yeah.
I
like
thought
that.
you were
Like-
gonna do the. It makes you want to kick a fat kid at Kmart.
Yeah, so that. But I love that you said Out by Lucy because that's
Yeah.
like one of my favorite bands going right now.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to hear some more like full body of work.
Can I give a quick like rapid fire off the top of my head of a
Go ahead.
bunch
Do
that
it,
are
do it, do
awesome?
it.
It's your
All right,
show.
let me think. All right, we got Backseat Dragon,
good.
amazing. Sorry Snowman, amazing.
Fantastic, yeah.
Noise Hotel,
Oh,
they're another
nice.
one that they're not even that new anymore, but they're fucking amazing. They blew my mind at that Ottawa U show.
Yeah, they crush.
They did. Oh god, there's so many others. I'm drawing a blank. I'm overwhelmed. Class of '91,
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
Stoby.
yes.
Stoby, hard. What else have we been playing with? I feel like we're missing a bunch, but yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like every
Everyone-
band we've played with
everyone's-
is amazing, and like I'm sure I'm forgetting like people that we literally hang out with all the time.
That's all
but,
right.
You know.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate
They know.
the shout out, and thank you for dropping all the names.
Yeah.
I will be going back as I'm editing. And,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
writing through, and I'll probably reach out to them. And it's all a community. It's all kind of it's a music scene, and we're all trying to help each other out. So that's awesome,
absolutely.
man. That's awesome. So after the show at DeCuff on the 30th, what do you guys got coming up?
On October 28th, we are playing at the Rainbow it's a big Halloween show with the space between. I believe we're also playing on the same night as Noise Hotel,
Passenger Princess.
Passenger Princess.
Love those guys. That's another band.
That is another fantastic one. They're always so nice.
What night is that?
That is Saturday.
Is it Saturday?
Saturday the 28th of October.
I
Yes.
love the
Yeah.
Rainbow.
If you show up, you have to be in costume.
Yeah.
Oh, dope.
You'll still get in if you're not, but we'll be sad.
Yeah, very, very
No,
sad.
it's like me and my girlfriend are looking for something to do for Halloween. And that's a good
I
idea.
mean,
And I
yeah.
love the Rainbow.
There you go.
Out of all the bands or the bars downtown, the Rainbow was like it's so
it's
close
awesome.
to my heart.
Yeah.
I just go up in the balcony and just kind of.
Yeah, true.
Anyway, they rented that place too, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did.
yeah.
That
Super
place
nice.
that place almost went away.
It did.
And then
They saved it.
The community saved it. The
It's
city
awesome.
saved it. That's
Yeah.
awesome, dude.
It's got a great sound system now.
Okay. When I post the podcast, I'm gonna put up. You had a link tree. I'll just
Yeah.
put that
Yep.
up, and hopefully everyone will check you out. I think you should because you guys are great
Thank you.
and you're nice dudes.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for coming out,
Yeah, thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having us.
and I'll keep in touch. And I definitely want to check out a show.
Halloween.
Please.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah.
Halloween, bring a costume.
And don't put me on the guest list because I will pay cover. Because you got to support local.
True.
True.
All right.
True.
Yes,
So thanks so much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Sweet.
Sounds
Thank you,
good, man.
love you.
Retrace my steps, not throw it all away. All the way I won't hold my breath. It's getting worse again. And if it's all the same, what remains is unforgettable.
Hello, I'm back. So that's the end of episode 112. Thank you so much to the dudes from Neon Ghosthouse for coming into Southwood Studio. Great conversation, and I honestly think great things await those dudes and that band, because they're way ahead of their years as far as songwriting and maturity when it comes to knowing what they want to do. So all the best, and good luck. If you want to get a hold of me, you can also always contact me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can find it anywhere. Spotify, Google, Apple, blah, blah, blah. Just search Ego and Vice Podcast. I'm the only one. Trademark. It'll pop up. I guess that's it. Like I said in the intro, stay safe out there. Be smart. Use your common sense. And let's keep this ride going. We don't want anything to shut down again. Not that it ever would, because the city would go nuts. But anyway, it's all good. Do your part, and be safe. And I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.